Facebook custom audiences allow you to create specific audiences to target with your Facebook ads. And a lot of times they are better than using Facebook's generic targeting options. So today we're going to cover what Facebook custom audiences are and how to set them up. All right, first things first, what is a Facebook custom audience? Facebook says a custom audience is an ad targeting option that lets you find your existing audiences among people across meta technologies. You can use sources like customer list, website or app traffic, or engagement across meta technologies to create custom audiences of people who already know your business. And you can create up to 500 custom audiences per ad account. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the types of custom audiences you can make. You've got website custom audiences, app activity custom audiences, customer list custom audiences, and engagement custom audiences. I'm going to cover each of these individually and show you how to set them up. So let's start with website custom audiences. Facebook says custom audiences from your website is a targeting option that matches people who visit your website with people on meta technologies using the meta pixel. You can then create an ad to show to that audience. You can create a custom audience from your website for any group of visitors that you'd like to reach with targeted ads. For example, you can run a campaign to reach people who visited a product page but didn't complete a purchase to encourage them to go back to the website to do so. Or you can create an audience of everyone who's visited your website in the past 30 days. This time frame is based on a rolling number of days rather than on the specific number of days since the custom audience creation date. So the first key to website custom audiences is you need to have your pixel installed. It used to be called the Facebook pixel, now it's called the Meta pixel, but it's the same thing. If you don't have that installed on your website, you can check out Sean's tutorial on it here, linked below. Once you have that pixel installed, it's tracking every page of your website. From that, you can create different custom audiences of your website traffic. The examples Facebook mentioned are great ones. If you own an e-commerce store and you're getting a lot of traffic, a lot of add to carts, but no conversions, you can specifically target the people who added to cart to send them back to your website to purchase. These people are going to be a lot hotter of a customer than your Facebook followers or even your general website traffic. People who added to cart were almost there and they just need a little push. If you're a service-based business, here's the equivalent scenario for you. If someone filled out your contact form but didn't schedule a call, you can create an audience of those people and target them specifically to get them to schedule a call with you. So let's look at how to set up a website custom audience. Go to your Facebook Ads Manager, hit the hamburger icon and hit Audiences. Then hit the blue Create Audience button. These are all the different sources you can create a custom audience from. For this one, we're going to hit Website. Make sure you have the correct pixel source selected and choose whether you want to include people who meet any or all of the following criteria. Meaning, can people meet any one of these criteria or do they need to meet all of the criteria you set to be included in this audience you're making? Then under Events is where you want to get specific. You can either target all of your website traffic, certain pages, or visitors by the time they spent on your site. Or you can select people who have reached certain pixel events that you set up in advance. Running with our example from earlier, if you put the lead event pixel on the thank you page people land on after filling out your contact form, you could select that event to target those people. Then you could use the exclude function to exclude people who already scheduled a call with you. That way you can target people who completed the contact form but did not schedule a call. If you don't have event pixels set up, you can also use the people who visited a specific web page function and enter the URL of the pages you want to target. Another broader example is, let's say you just want to retarget your website traffic. You can do that here and then exclude certain pages that don't make sense to retarget, such as your career pages maybe, where people can apply to work for you. If you're trying to drive sales or leads from your target audience, you don't want to waste money retargeting pages where you know the traffic of that page isn't your target market or has already converted. You can also include certain audiences here and set a retention that makes sense for you given your goal and campaign. From there, you can give your audience a name and you want it to be something you'll easily recognize so that you see and select this audience in the ad set level when setting up your ads. Then hit the blue Create Audience button. Facebook's website custom audience tools can be used in many ways to get specific with your audience and push different segments down your sales funnel. Just keep in mind that the size of your custom audience may decrease because it may not include some iOS 14 users. All right, next let's talk about app activity custom audiences. Facebook says creating an app activity custom audience is a great way to target ads towards specific groups of people who are most likely to take the action you want them to take on your app. Using the Meta SDK, you can pass data to Meta from your app and use that data to specify who you want to include in your custom audience. For example, if you use the traffic or sales objective to run an app ad engagement campaign, your ads may perform better if you create a custom audience of people who have already installed your app. Now, before you begin, Facebook says you need to register your app and set up the SDK and log app events on the Meta for Developers site. To reach users taking specific actions called app events within your app, you'll need to set up your app events for each platform your app is available in. This is done by sending an event from your app via the Meta SDK. This event can be one of 14 predefined events, such as added to cart in an e-commerce app or level achieved in a game. You can also set up your own custom events. You may also choose to use a Meta mobile measurement partner for your app event measurement needs, and will need to inform them of which events you'd like to measure to ensure you can send app events to Meta. So all of that needs to happen before you go to create a custom app activity audience in Ads Manager. Now let's look at how to set up an app activity custom audience. Same initial steps as before, hit the hamburger icon and hit Audiences within Ads Manager, then hit the blue Create Audience button and select Custom Audiences to get to this screen. Then select App Activity and hit Next. Now my screen is going to show a lot fewer options than yours will if you have an app source to pull from. We don't have an app, so it's not able to pull source options. But the same general practices apply where you're including and excluding different events and audiences based on the goal you're trying to achieve. You can name your audience and then hit Create Audience. Facebook says from the drop-down menu, select which app events you'd like to base your audience on. You can either include or exclude people in your custom audience who have completed any of the listed app events. For example, you can include people who have either opened your app, achieved a level, added their payment info, made an in-app purchase, or completed a tutorial. Alternatively, you could choose to include people who have either opened your app or achieved a level, but exclude people who have made an in-app purchase. Make sure you have the ad account rights to the app you want to use. Keep in mind that your app needs to be measuring app events to create a custom audience from it. The app events your app is set up to measure will automatically populate in the drop-down menu. You can choose how far back you would like your audience populated by based on when the event occurred for people using your app. For example, you can specify in the past 30 days to reach people who have completed a purchase event in the past 30 days. Add details to app events you base your custom audience on by selecting Refine By and choosing the type of details you want to specify. For example, you can add a parameter to target your ads to people who have made an in-app purchase over a certain amount. If you want to target your ads to people who have made a certain number of in-app purchases, you can specify an aggregated value. You can also select people who have completed a chosen app event on a specific device type like Android or iOS. Now, before we move on to the third type of audience, first I have to mention that if you'd rather let professionals handle all of this for you and just take social media advertising off your plate altogether, we do that for small businesses every day. So I'll put our contact link below in case you're interested in learning more about that. All right, next let's talk about customer list custom audiences. This type of audience is exactly what it sounds like. It's a customer list that you upload. Now, I can't stress enough that this needs to be an actual customer list of yours, not one that you bought. That's a quick way to get your account flagged and disabled. A customer list should be a list of names, emails, and phone numbers of your actual customers or email subscribers, etc. You can then upload that list to Facebook to use to your advantage. Facebook says before you begin, ensure you can create this type of audience. You can only create a customer list custom audience if you're the owner of the ad account connected to Meta Business Manager, or the owner has provided you with either admin or advertiser permissions. If your account is new, or if you've recently linked to an existing account, it may take a few weeks before you're able to create a customer list custom audience. If your new account is part of a tenured business account, you may be able to go through business verification. Also, you'll need to prepare your customer list in advance. To make a custom audience from a customer list, you provide us with information about your existing customers, and we match this information with Meta profiles. The information on a customer list is known as an identifier, such as email, phone number, or address, and we use it to help you find the audiences you want your ads to reach. Your customer list can either be a CSV or text file that includes these identifiers. To get the best match rates, use as many identifiers as possible while following our formatting guidelines. So let's look at how to create a customer list audience. Same initial steps as before to get to audiences and create audience, custom audience. Then select customer list. From there, it's going to walk you through how to prepare your list. Like we just went over, it will need to be a CSV or TXT file, and Facebook has resources for you right there you can click on that show you how to format your identifiers. It won't let me click further ahead because I'm not actually uploading a list right now, but the prompt should be fairly straightforward from there. Facebook says you can hover over the identifiers to display the formatting rules and the correct column header. For example, first name would appear as FN as a column header in your list. Alternatively, we have a file template you can download to help our system map your identifiers more easily. You can upload from MailChimp as well. And all of that is linked from the screen I just showed you. So once you've got your list entered in, Facebook will tell you if there's something wrong with the list prior to you finishing the submission. The green checkmark symbol means your identifiers were mapped correctly and are ready to be hashed, then used for the matching process. The yellow exclamation symbol means either that you chose not to include certain identifiers or that some identifiers need to be manually updated. You have higher chances of getting a better match rate to build your audience if you make the corrections before uploading your file. Once your list has been added and is ready for use, select Upload and Create. When we're finished hashing your customer list information, we'll let you know that your audience is ready to use. Once ready, you can immediately create an ad to reach your new custom audience or create a lookalike audience to find new people who share similar behaviors and interests with your existing customers. All right, now the last custom audience we're covering today is engagement custom audiences. Facebook says an engagement custom audience is a custom audience made up of people who have engaged with your content across Meta technologies and services. Engagement refers to actions people can take across Meta technologies such as viewing videos, following a Facebook page, or opening a form in a lead generation ad. Engagement custom audiences help you show your ads to people who've taken these actions. You can also use it as a source for a lookalike audience, so you can find people who are similar to those who've engaged with your content across Meta technologies. So this is a great option for people who either don't have a website yet or do but don't have a lot of website visitors yet. You can retarget your engagement instead. Here are the engagement custom audience types available. You've got video, lead form, instant experience, AR experience, shopping, Instagram account, events, and Facebook page. Facebook says, remember, engagement custom audiences are different from custom audiences from your website. While both do take actions into account, engagement custom audiences use actions taken across Meta technologies, whereas custom audiences use actions taken on your website tracked by a Meta pixel, otherwise known as events. When you create an engagement custom audience, you tell us how many days you want us to go back when collecting engagement. This means that if you tell us to look back 30 days and someone has engaged 29 days ago, that person will be in your audience. However, if they fail to engage the next day, they will then be removed from it. Anyone new who engages within the time period you choose will be added to the audience. This means that the audience is constantly being refreshed, so you don't need to edit or create a new engagement custom audience unless you want to change the time period or the type of engagement. So let's look at how to set up an engagement custom audience. On the audiences screen, tap the blue Create Audience button, tap Custom Audience, and then under Meta Sources, you'll see all the engagement options you can choose from that we mentioned earlier. I'm not going to click into every single one of them, but I'll just show you a couple as examples. If I click into video, it'll let me create an audience of people who watched at least 3 seconds or more of any certain video we've published. If I click into Instagram, I can create an audience of people who followed our Instagram, engaged with or saved a post or ad from it, or sent a message to it. And you can do the same with a Facebook page. If I click into lead form, I can create an audience of people who opened the form but didn't submit, or opened the form and submitted. So for instance, you could create a custom audience of people who opened the form and submitted, and then exclude that audience in your lead generation campaign so that you don't waste money targeting people who already filled it out. And all of the custom audiences have different retention rates and parameters you can set. No matter which custom audience you choose, you should be thinking strategically about what ads you're going to show to which specific audience and how that can push them further down your sales funnel. The more specific you get with your targeting, the better results you're likely to see. So please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more videos like these, and I will see you guys in the next episode.